Okay, good morning. That's the first time I've heard an announcement that this meeting is being recorded. But anyway, week four, um, talking about data science, big data analytics. This week's topic is in manufacturing, as in connected smart factories. Last week it was smart cities. Now we're talking about smart factories. So we'll go over this week's topic and this week's paper, and then we'll conclude. And I'm posting a bonus lecture this bonus lecture this week, so this particular lesson will be short. Okay, so um, data and manufacturing. That's what we're data science as applied to the manufacturing process. Okay, so there's a graphic in the content folder this week. We've got a graphic here. If you do a search on smart manufacturing, I'm trying to remember if any of you are in the manufacturing sector, and it doesn't jump out at me. Quite a few in healthcare and other services, but not necessarily supporting a manufacturing process. But nonetheless, this is one of the industry verticals where data science is making a huge impact. So I want to keep it keep your papers focused on how data science is aiding the manufacturing process. So you can look at the way sensors have been placed along um, the the manufacturing process, along assembly lines or automated assembly. Um, Sensors are being used to count things, to monitor levels of like raw materials, paint and parts and whatnot. And as they're consumed by the manufacturing process, it feeds back to the supply chain management. Um, they're being used in quality control. Data analysis is being used in quality control. There's non-destructive imaging that feeds back, and they look for flaws in products um, with speed. That's the beautiful thing, about computers is um, whatever they do, they generally do it a whole lot faster than a human does. So there's myriad um, uh, examples out there of where data science contributes to smart manufacturing. So those are your key words, and you can start early in the process. You can start with the way computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing um, uh, contribute to rapid prototyping, and that can be on 3D printers have come up, and um, uh, CNC machining has gotten a whole lot cheaper than it was back in the day. Robotic arms, um, just a huge amount of um, data science and automation is playing into manufacturing at all phases, and and then you've got feedback on, like I said, the feedback loop from raw materials to supply chain to make sure that we're feeding the factory with the materials that it needs to go, and then to operate, and then uh, you've got examples where now customers can um, go online and order um, basically custom work to be done in the factory, and that all gets fed in to the work order processing system automatically. You can do that with cars. I know you can do it with guitars. and it gets fed in. It's almost manufacturing on demand. I mean, you can get t-shirts printed on demand. Everything is going to that that on demand model where the customer is king and can customize pretty much anything. So yeah. So this week you're going to write a paper about a particular type of manufacturing. So we'll get to that. Um, uh, I'm using instructions from several semesters ago. So here are your instructions repeated from the classroom. Um, Focus on a single type of product, okay? Not manufacturing in general. And there are a lot of papers out there on Course Hero that are about manufacturing Internet of Things. That's not what we're doing. So when I see old papers, then it's obvious you're not starting from an outline as I have asked you to do in my um, academic writing for systems engineers video. So that'll that'll conclude our coverage this week. Okay, if you have any questions on these instructions, all right, and what I've talked about, um, email me. So I'll be looking for you to stay to the instructions, right to your specification. Okay. So in conclusion, um, there's challenges and um, benefits. So you can break your paper up into two sections, just like we did the discussion um, for healthcare. Those four areas of healthcare: data management, data engineering. Um, so you should have a couple of sections. What are the challenges um on of data science? You can focus on the research of smart manufacturing or the conduct of the practice of smart manufacturing. Just stick with uh, data science contributing to smart manufacturing, and write clearly, concisely, and originally with good organization. I saw some really good papers turned in last week, um, all finished grading, that were laser focused on smart city applications. Um, but then some not so much. But first, I want to talk about this week's discussion. You have probably seen me. Please, if you haven't seen me, read all of my posts every week. I'm sure I've said that before, but I expect you to read all of my posts every week so that you can get an idea of, if I ask you questions or if you see me asking questions of um, your classmates, you kind of get an idea how my brain works and my expectations. I saw a lot of pointless lectures where you reply and tell somebody something they already know and that we all know, and it's pointless. Um, Trying to avoid that. So if you get a score that you don't like or you don't like my comments, you're welcome to email me and we can talk it over. But I'm going to continue to expect actual dialogue, actual discussion, which, as we know, is a back and forth between people. It's not a monologue, it's not a lecture, it's a discussion. So I have posted questions to folks. I expect a reply. Just as if if you email me or post questions to me, you can expect a reply. So that goes for discussions as well as papers. If I ask you a question in the comments of your paper and I ask you to email me, please do so and do so right away as soon as your feedback is posted, um, so that I'm not uh, hanging, waiting for your response. That said, I'm thinking half the papers that were turned in were downloaded from Course Hero as a start. Lot of papers mentioned, a page, maybe not even one page on smart cities, and 5 pages on big data analysis in some corporate environment. I saw the same coverage of Amazon in, I don't know, 6 or 8 papers. That's not what the instructions called for. And it's when I see, when I'm sitting here looking at these papers, I see what you're doing. If you got less than a 19 or 20 on this paper, um, you were off course. This was easy. Should have been an easy full credit assignment, maybe 1 point here and there for phrasing or grammar. But generally speaking, if you wrote your own paper, you got full credit. If you didn't, um, you need to start doing that. And like I said, if I asked you a question, I expect a response. So that's it for this week. Um, this lecture plus a supplemental. Any questions or concerns? Um, please shoot me an email.